in and kind of rubbed him off to the side of the play. Fridley wants another line change here. They're bringing out Sundom on 1 point. We're bringing out Tony Johns, Kirk Swanson, and Tim Schweppe at center on this, and we're waiting for the other defenseman. Here he comes, Chad Ricksham. Okay, face off deep in Fridley's zone.
Trent Peterson takes it for Park. Schweppe for Fridley. Schweppe wins it. Back to Sundom. Sundom up to Johns, and it squirts off his puck. Held in, shot on, weak shot. McCarty, easy save. Kick out in the corner. Park holds it in again, drives it back in, where Sundom gets it. Now to Schweppe. Schweppe behind the net. Schweppe on skating up for Johns. Nice feed for Johns. Johns checked up, followed up by Swanson. Now Johns, and it hopped his shoulder. And Park comes back. Schweppe gets there to takeout pass. Now Johns dumps it in. Race for the puck. Schweppe and Swanson behind the net. Held in by Ricksham momentarily. Now Johns with a nice takeout. He took out a great big Park player. Sundom behind the net. Now in the near corner, Schweppe doing battle with a Park player. Both players go down, and the puck's under one of them.
Good call by the official. The puck was actually laying loose there, but instead of getting someone's arm cut off or something with some stick action in there, he called for a face-off, and we're going to bring out McElberg, Bailey, and Neville on the line here. We're going to bring out Colin Pullen on the points. So 4:05 left in the first period, 0-0 score at this point.
Mark your calendars. Friday at the VFW Club, February 6th, the annual HAF dance. Bailey breaks out. Bailey couldn't get around the Park defenseman. Neville follows up. Now McElberg. And Neville drives it into the corner. Nobody forechecking. Nobody forechecking for Fridley. Park has all the time in the world to clear it and does. Now Park on the attack. 3-on-2. And Cole breaks that first rush up. Shot on, saved by McCarty. Cole breaks out. Fires it over to an open wing. Bailey into forecheck. Held in by Cole. Now to Neville. A drop pass for McElberg off his stick. McElberg recovers. Fires a centering pass where it's picked up by Park. Now Pullen holds it in momentarily. Park comes back. Park 1-on-2. Dumps it in. In the near corner. Call to Bailey. To McElberg. Fridley changing lines. McElberg, Paul, and Bailey. And offside called.
Here again, breaking up ice and cut to the side, cut to the boards at the last minute, carrying that puck when he had a man up there, and should have went straight into the zone. Didn't really have any opposition, but our man got pushed in offside. Good play by Spring Lake Park.
Liston wins this faceoff, draws it to Sundom, to Ricksham, fires it into the near corners. Liston in forechecking. Now Thorpe. Centering pass picked up by Park. Park's outlet pass. Center outlet. Park breaks up. Fridley got 3 men back. And that centering pass picked up by by Paul. And we have a hand pass and a little bit of roughing at 2:38 remaining in the first period. Scoreless game.
Chad Liston's going off for a high stick here with 2:38 left in the first period. Face off deep in the Fridley zone. Chad, understand, last time when they had their break in there, breakaway, they didn't give a shot on goal to it for Spring Lake Park. But we are being outshot 8-2 at this point in the game, and that's probably going to go up a little bit here now that we're going to be shorthanded with a face-off deep in our zone. I think they should move that outside the zone because we saw a hand pass in there by Spring Lake Park after the player was down. So I think they would make a call there for a hand pass and bring it outside the zone, Pete.
Well, we saw it, but the referee didn't see it, Jack. So Schweppe, Swanson, Pullen and call. Park wins the faceoff. Dumps it on net. Easy save for McCarty. Kick out to the far boards. Now Park gets a cannon away and a puck. Nice save by McCarty. And Park holds it in. Now it comes out. Swanson by himself. Swanson tries to get around one man, fires a pass for Schweppe a little too far. Schweppe in the boards. This combination got a short-handed goal about a week ago up in Forest Lake. Park regains the puck. and comes in. They don't get around Pullen. They don't get around Swebby, who drives it deep. Fridley changing. 1:19 remaining on the penalty. Johns is out. Sundom is out. Rick Sham stays out, and he's joined by Mackelberg. Sundom gets a hold of it, fires it back into the Spring Lake Park zone. Now Park comes in. Mackelberg with a poke check, but Park still has the puck, and Mackelberg clears it. 58 seconds remaining on the Fridley penalty. 1:31 remaining in the period. Now Park back on the attack. Park breaking up ice. Park sets up. Back to the near point. And Johns intercepts it. Johns one-on-one. And Johns checked off. Followed up by Mackelberg, who drives it deep into the Spring Lake Park zone. Now less than a half a minute on the power play. Park back on the attack again. Drives it in. Rick Sham back for Fridley. Rick Sham's clearing attempt blocked by Park. Park with it, back to the point. Less than a minute in the period. Shot fired wide by Park. Back to the far point, 7 seconds remaining. Now to an open point. And checked off by Johns. Johns on a breakaway. Tony Johns on a breakaway. Johns, oh, what a save by the Park player. Tony coming off of the ice, picked up a loose pass. Tony still on the ice. He had the goalie moving. Fridley at full strength. Back to pick it up is Monette. Monette, Park comes up with it. Park behind the net. Park tries a stuff shot and a rebound goal. Park scores with 9 seconds remaining in the first period. Someone let a wing loose down there.
Yep, what do you say about it, Pete? I saw that camera, and it came out around one side of the net, and it slid through the crease. I was surprised it didn't go in the first time through, and it went out to the other side, and Park tapped her home, so 9 seconds left in the period. I think we got caught with our penalty killers still on the ice, and they were a little tired, and didn't, I don't know what happened. You tell me, Pete, what happened?
Well, that's probably as easy way of saying it as can be said. Now Park wins the face-off. Park attacks. Fires a shot high over the boards. And time runs out in the first period. Jack will be giving you the shots on goal and the scoring summary. But before he does, let me go back and concentrate on the forthcoming dance. Ladies, every gal gets to dance with Jim Negri that shows up. And if you're single, he'll dance with you twice.
First period, we had shots on goal. We had Fridley with 3 shots on goal. One of those coming on our power play advantage, and we had Spring Lake Park with 10 shots on goal. Fridley had 2 penalties called in the first period. One at 1:38 of the first period, Stuart Sundom for interference, and the second penalty came at 12:22. Was Chad Liston for a high sticking call. Spring Lake Park had 1 penalty in the period at 4:57 for a slashing call. Their goal was scored at 14:51 by Spring Lake Park, which came with just 9 seconds left in the period. Fridley's going to have to get moving a little faster in this next game and start taking some shots. With only 3 shots on goal, we're being outshot better than 3-1. And you can't win too many games doing that. We're going to take a little break. We're having the cheerleaders are going to come up, and we're going to do a little conversation, have a little interview with the girls, find out who they are and how they enjoy cheering for hockey. So until the girls come up, we'd like to sign off now. Thank you. Second period's here with the game with Spring Lake Park, and we've got our varsity cheerleaders up this year. I'd like them to introduce themselves. Tell us what grade they're in.
Kelly Hogavet, senior.
Buffy Ryder, junior.
Aaron Gibbs, junior.
Jenny Vane, junior.
Jennifer Kesey, senior.
Very good. Girls, what do you think of the game so far tonight?
It's pretty exciting. I wish we'd get a couple goals, though.
Yep, we want to win really bad.
It's kind of boring because nobody scored, but I hope we win anyways.
We need some goals.
Crowd's a little dead.
Crowd's a little dead. Well, at this point, they haven't had much to cheer about with only 3 shots on goal in the first period. That's kind of anemic. I don't think we've seen that low shot total yet this year, have we?
I don't think so.
Kind of tough to score. What do you think of the team so far this year? I know they've had some good games and they've had some pretty bad games. Is it hard to get the crowd to cheer for you when the games have been going, some of them the way they have?
Yeah, it's hard. It's good though because the team handles, if they lose, they're not mad on the bus and stuff. So.
Okay. Who makes all these fancy posters that we hang up here that we see hanging around? We see welcome parents, we see we love our Puck Boys and that. Who makes the posters for us?
We all do.
And who is we? Cheerleaders?
Yeah.
Are there other things you do during the course of the school week before games and things like that?
Not much. Make locker decorations. That takes a lot of time. So we usually mostly what we do.
Okay, the locker decorations. What type of I've seen some of the things, but I know some of the people that might watch this don't know what you're talking about. Can you tell us a little bit what it might be?
We just think of something to say about the team, and then we write it on construction paper and hang it on their lockers, and they all have the same one.
Like to ask the seniors how long they've been cheering for hockey, and then the underclass people if they want to continue to cheer for hockey.
I've been varsity for 2 years and I was JV for 1.
This is my first year for cheering hockey, and I hope to do it again next year.
I cheered JV last year. This is my first year varsity. I want to cheer next year, yeah.
This is my first year for varsity hockey, and I hope to make it next year.
I cheered JV in 9th grade and varsity in 11th and 12th.
Very good. Well, I hope we can you can cheer this team on to a victory. Spring Lake Park has quite a nice crowd here tonight also for this game, and I see Fridley has a good turnout, and I hope you can get out there and get some enthusiasm in those people.
We'll try.
Okay. Thank you for coming up. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thanks, girls.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, folks, second period action about ready to start as the International Fridley Pep Band led by Mike Slaughterman directs the Fridley Rouser.
Does an excellent job bringing this band down here and taking his time to come down here and see that they do play for us. We'd like to give a special, let's take a listen to the band here. And another big round of thanks to the band director, Mike Slotman, and the Fridley High Pep Band. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Channel 12, everybody's television channel, ETC 12, for the opportunity to use their equipment and bring these games to you. Channel 12, as you know, has won some national recognition and awards for the access that they have and the way they run their program. The games are played on Tuesday and Thursday nights on Channel 12. They have regular hockey night in Fridley. It's either 8:30 Tuesday, 9 o'clock on Thursday night, and you can call in and request a game to be played at a particular time or a particular game if you like. I just did the same thing myself the other day and got them to put a game on so I can make a tape of it. Face off.
Sweppy, Swanson, Johns are the forwards. Rick Sham and Sundom are the points. Park breaks in. McCarty with a save. The puck is loose. Sweppy gets it. Sweppy's outlet pass for Swanson off the board. Swanson tied up. Park holds it in. Now back behind the net to pick it up is Sundom. Sundom on the near boards for Swanson, and Swanson is hitting. Swanson with a hit. Sweppy over to Sundom. Sundom having trouble clearing it. Back to Rick Sham. Rick Sham up on the near boards. Fridley trying a board outlet and not very successful. Park on a doorstep shot and a goal at 4:16. 44 seconds into the second period. Park scores a goal to go ahead 2-0.
Fridley don't start skating. This is going to be another one of them 10-0 games. We get that puck in our zone, and no one's moving up ice to get a pass. And Fridley's kind of laying back on it, so we've got to get some wheels moving here, Pete.
Fridley now with Mackelberg, Nevela, Bailey, Call and Pullen. Bailey with the puck. Park comes up with it. Call with a takeout. Park gets around him. Now Park breaks in again. Centering pass on the slot. McCarty with a kick save and cleared by Nevela to center ice. Bailey on the forecheck. Call with a takeout. Mackelberg with the puck behind his net. Fires it over on the near boards. And back for the puck is Mackelberg. That time the center outlet work. Mackelberg gets around one Park defenseman. Mackelberg with the puck. Brings it out to Ricksham. Ricksham fires a wrist shot just wide. Now on the far boards is Nevela. And Park comes up with it. Now Bailey with it. And his pass picked up by Park. And Nevela with a hit to break that Park attack up. Park comes back with it. Picked up by Liston to Bailey. Bailey in, shoots, and a stick save by the Park goalie. And a centering pass. Pole was tied up, couldn't get his stick on it. Held in by Sundom with a hit. Oh, Fridley starting to use their body. Ricksham back for it. Park picks the puck up. Thorpe breaks that up. Now Liston again. Liston with Pole trailing. Pole with it. Pole behind the net. Pole can't get it out to Thorpe as he's tied up. Thorpe wide open in the slot. Park picks it up. Now held in. Cole rides a Park player off, and Sundom gets it. Fridley starting to use their weight. 2-0. Sundom taken into the boards. Pole gets it, drives it out of the zone into the neutral ice. Now Park again on the attack. Nice passing by Park. Don't get around Sundom. Now behind the net. Liston has it. Liston almost clears it. And Liston does. Fridley looking for a line change. Swanson gets on. Held in by Call. He has to wait for Swanson to get onside, then dumps it. Fridley completes their line change. Pulling Sweppy on the ice. And Johns. Swanson battling 3 Park players and sends one flying. Joined by Sweppy. Sweppy to Johns to Swanson, and Swanson couldn't quite control the puck as he pulled the trigger. Pullen doing a nice job holding it in. Now Park breaks out. Race for the puck. Brian Cole gets there first. To Sweppy. Over to Pullen. And we got a penalty. High stick being called on Spring Lake Park. Spring Lake Park's number 8. And Tim Sweppy going in. High sticking. Coincidental minors being called at 11:20.
Well, Pete, I didn't see it, so I can't comment on it, but coincidental minors with 11:20 remaining in the second period. Fridley down 2-0, being outshot in the game 13-4. We got coincidental minors, and the Spring Lake Park team's an awful scrappy team, and they're pretty quick. I don't know what we're going to do here, Pete. There's a big game for them. They haven't won a game yet this year, and they really want this one.
They played some teams excellently, losing to Anoka, number 1 in overtime as Bailey breaks out. He's ridden off. And Park comes up with it. Park 2-on-2. Ricksham and Sundom back. Sundom breaks that up to Bailey, and it hit the referee. Referee broke that attack up for Fridley. Now Park back in. Ricksham with a takeout up to Bailey. Bailey going in. Bailey shoots and looking for the 5-0, but it wasn't to be had.
Nice goaltending there by Spring Lake Park on the opportunities he's had. He's had some close-in opportunities. He's been able to come up with the saves. Fridley having tough luck shooting here. Fridley's going to change lines for this face-off. We're going to be on Swanson and Johns at the forward lines, and Ricksham and Sundom on the points.
1:32 remaining in a coincidental. Swanson with the face-off. Let's see if he tries to drive it on net. He did last 2 games when he's taken a face-off. He's broken the opposing player's stick twice. Now Park on the attack. Sundom over, rides his man off. Johns picks it up, intercepted by Park. Park has a man breaking in a slot. And fortunately for Fridley, that pass was a little bit too far for him. Now Swanson with it. Swanson up to Johns. Johns by himself. Johns splits one defenseman but couldn't split the other one. Now Park comes up with it. Pullen intercepts it. Puck goes in the penalty box. 57 seconds remaining on the Coincidentals.
Yeah. Kirk Swanson with a big check on that play going into the zone. That was the man who just taken Tony Johns off the play. He touched the puck, and Swanson numbered him and took him. We're going to have Paul Thorpe and John Pohl out on the forward lines here, along with Brian Call and David Pullen on the points.
Pohl wins the face-off. Drives it into the Park zone. Held in by Pullen. No, it wasn't, folks. It sure looked like it.
Well, the referee had a better angle, Pete. We're about 60, 70, 80 feet away here, and just up on top of it, and a little outside the line, and he was about 5 feet away. So I guess we'll go with the referee.
That one will give to him. Pohl wins the face-off. Park controls it, though. Park on the attack. Park gets a shot away. Easy save for McCarty. Call rides the Park player off. Now Park with it. Park behind the Fridley net. 4-on-4. Park ahead, 2-0. Second period action. And now Park's going on the penalty as Thorpe is on the attack. Thorpe with Pohl following, and a shot fired by Pohl. It hit Thorpe. Thorpe is in the screen. Just what you want. A big forward going in to screen those defensemen, and I think Paul Thorpe is probably one of the biggest forwards that Fridley has at 6 foot, 200-pound senior. 11 seconds left on the Coincidentals, Jack, and then Fridley will have a minute 49 power play.
Right, Paul Thorpe there, a little bit of talking there. He might have got called back, but he skated away in time, so he didn't get called. So we will have a power play advantage. Let's hope we can put some pressure on with this. We're going to have Sundom and Ricksham out on the forward lines, and we got Mackelberg and Bailey up front.
Mackelberg wins the face-off. Centering it for Bailey. Bailey out on the high slot for Sundom. Shot. Save. Mackelberg with the rebound. Park intercepts his centering pass. Coincidentals are over. Park on the attack. Neville steps on the ice. Sweppy comes in the box. Centering pass in the crease. And Bailey has it. Bailey on the floorboards for Mackelberg. Mackelberg with Neville trailing. And it hopped a defenseman's stick. Send them back to pick it up. And we're going to have icing on Fridley. Minute 17 remaining in the penalty. 8:48 in the second period. Spring Lake Park with a 2-0 lead.
And Fridley iced the puck on a manpower advantage. That was a little strange here, Pete. They were a man short, but they had 5 men on the ice. The one guy left the bench and was across in our zone in the blue line when their player coming off was behind the red line, still heading to the bench. It was kind of interesting to see. Nice way to change if you get away with it.
They got away with it. So we have Sweppy, Swanson, Johns, Call, and Pullen for this power play. Sweppy wins the face-off, drops it back for Call. Call fires a pass up to Sweppy. Overskated and recovered. Now Sweppy drives it in and is checked just as he gets ready to fire it in. Call back to Pullen. Fridley regroups. Up to Swanson. To Sweppy. Fridley on the attack. Sweppy behind his net. Sweppy shot, fired, loose puck, and Johns for the rebound, and he was tied up. Now Johns in the corner. Johns has got it. Back to Swanson. Swanson behind his net. Sweppy trying to screen the defenseman. Swanson in front, shot fired. Loose puck, Johns for the rebound and a cover.
Pete, I don't understand. I don't know if that's the way they're running our power play, but we put a guy on each corner of the net and one guy behind the net with the puck, and they're able to cover our whole offense with 2 defensemen. If we don't work that puck and they're dropping the others, we'll have to cover the points, and so we've got no options with that puck. I don't see what's going on.
What they're trying to do, Jack, on that particular power play was have the weak side forward come out and cover the defenseman and have the puck carrier come out in the high slot and fire on goal. They tried it twice and it almost worked, but maybe there were some other options. Park wins it, clears at 30 seconds remaining on the power play. Sundom back for it, reverses over for Sweppy, back to Sundom behind his net. Now Sundom skates the puck up, fires it behind for Sweppy, recovered, driven into the near corner for Swanson. Swanson for it, held in by Sundom. Backhand pass intercepted by Park. 2 seconds remaining. Park at full strength. Park comes in, hits the pipe. The puck is loose. Fridley not tying up their men. Now McCarty sees a player, drops his stick and covers the puck. Oh, Fridley with a little luck that time.
Well, Spring Lake Park knew they were going to have their man back in just a minute, so they floated a guy way up. Yep. They floated the man way up ice, almost at our blue line, and as soon as they came at full strength, he was up there to get that pass and break in on zone, and they floated in behind us, and we were busy with the power play, but with seconds left, that was very good strategy by the Spring Lake Park team and coach.
Liston wins this face-off. Park comes up with it. Park on the attack. Sundom with a nice check. Excuse me, folks, I got so excited I was talking into my pen instead of the microphone. And Thorpe battles 2 Park players, comes up with the puck. Friendly 3-on-3. Drop pass. But Park gets it. Now Park on the attack trying to get to it. Cole ties his man up nice. And McCarty clears it out to Pohl. Shot on and a nice kick out into the near corner by McCarty. Mackelberg up to Thorpe. Driven in. Held in by Bailey. Bailey around one man. Park gets it, tries to drive it out and gets it past Ricksham. But picked up by Neville over for Mackelberg. Dumps it in, takes a hit. High elbow. Bailey centering pass, comes out, goalie held that one. In and now Park with it. In the near corner, Sundom blasts one, tipped high. We got playing the puck with a high stick. If Fridley gets it now, we should get icing out of it. And we do. 6:02 remaining in the second period. Fridley down 2-0.
This line with Liston and Thorpe and John Pohl here tonight, they create some excitement. Liston and Thorpe have been creating excitement all year. Normally Neville plays wing on that line, but because Danny O'Keefe is out with an injury, they've moved Neville up to this line with Bailey and Mackelberg. So we've got Sundom and Ricksham on the points. We got Bailey taking the face-off with Mackelberg and Neville on the line with them.
Ricksham blast a little bit wide of the net. Now Park comes up with it. Park on the attack. Fridley 3 men back. Shot on, a high kick out by McCarty. Starts out Mackelberg. Mackelberg to Neville. And Neville is checked off by 3 Park players. Park gets it into the neutral zone. Right in front of us is Ricksham. And a Park player came sliding into Ricksham. Bailey reverses it. That Park player, he didn't know what he hit. He hit a 190-pound, 5'11" defenseman, and he went down. Neville tied up, shot on. And the puck is cleared by Fridley. This line's been out there for a long time. Fridley looking for a line change. Icing waved off. Pullen picks it up. He's checked off the puck. Pullen comes back with it. Now in the far corner for Neville. Neville just trying to tie it up and call the system. Fridley wants to change that line. Swanson, John Sweppy out. And even 5 minutes remaining.